My name is Miguel Artuno from Ms. Kirch's first period math analysis class, and today this video will show you everything about rational functions, including graphing. So here's the problem. So first we either have to find the horizontal asymptote or the slant asymptote. We can't have both, so we would find this through the first number, the first degree of both the numerator and denominator. So the first degree on the numerator is bigger than the one on the denominator, so that means we would have a slant asymptote. And to find the slant asymptote, we need to do long division on these two equations. So here's how to do proper long division. And the answer we got was x plus 7. So the equation is y equals mx plus b, and you just plug it in. And the equation is y equals 1x plus 7. And we put this on the graph like this. The slant, just like a regular line. See. The next part would be to find the vertical asymptote, and we do this from getting the factored part of these two equations like that, and so we find to whatever can cancel, and right here, as you can see, the x plus 1 cancels on each of them, so we put this as a whole, just the parts that are canceled, which is right here. So the whole is x equals -1, and you would plug in -1 into x only for the rest of the factored equation, which is x and in parentheses x plus 3 over x minus 4, like that, and your resulting answer would be -2 over -5, which the point would be 0 and 2/5. So yeah, and to find the vertical asymptote, all you get is the denominator part and set it equal to 0. So you get x equals 4, and the equation is just x equals 4. And you set this as a limit notation. So you would plug it in, and to find the limit notation, you would have to plug in this equation into your calculator, and as a result, it would look like this. So on your calculator it might not look like this because right now I fixed the window to be like this, so then you guys can see it better. Once you have done that, once you fix your window, just click graph again, and it'll come out like that. So the limit notation is from the vertical asymptote, which you see that as x approaches the vertical asymptote, which would be 4 on the left, right here, it approaches -infinity because it goes down on the graph, like that. And right here, as x approaches the vertical asymptote on the right, it would go up, so you would put -infinity right there. So yeah, and then so the whole graph with the vertical asymptote, the slant asymptote, and the holes is right here. This would be the slant asymptote, the vertical asymptote, and as you can see, the arrows are pointing like that, which should be like that. So we would plot the hole as an open circle, and the hole again is 0 and 2/5. So you would find it on your graph, it should be approximately right there. So make it an open circle like that. So yeah. And then the next step would be to find the domain of it, and the domain is just basically the vertical asymptote, which is x equals 4, just 4, and the whole, which is -1 right here. And then you would put it into interval notation, which would look like this. And then the next step would be to find the x-intercept, which would be this right here, which you would just plug in 0 into 0 as y in the factored equation, which is this one. Just the factored equation without the parts that's already cancelled. So it'll look like this. And then the resulting the points on the x-intercept would be 0 and 0, 0, which is the origin, and -3, 0, which would be here and here. Okay, and then after you find the x-intercept, you would find the y-intercept, which is just you plug in 0 for the x's on this equation again, the factored equation without the parts that are already cancelled. So it would look like this. And then the y-intercept would be the origin again, which is just that part. So after you have found all that, you pretty much just graph it, which you would get your points. So you would have to find just some points, just divide this part right there, because there's only 2 parts to it. So yeah, you would have just find the points on the left side of the of the vertical asymptote, and we already have 1 point, which is -3, 0. So all we need to do is just find -2, -1. So and on the right side we don't have any, so we would find 5, 6, and 7. Excuse me, right there. And to find the values of it, you would go on your calculator and just hit trace. So go onto just scroll through it to find your points. And yeah, so it would be 0.3 for -2, and 0.1 for -1. Then do the same thing for this part, which would be excuse me. Sorry for taking so long. So it would be around 120 because the graph is kind of big. 0.9, and then 25.1, and then 21.7. So just put this points on the graph, and so like that. Just go. So negative 2.3 and negative 1.1. So it looks something like that. And then up here, just for the sake of, because we don't have space, just do it just as close as you can to the asymptotes, the slant asymptote and the vertical asymptote. But yeah, so something like that. It's not approximate, I know, but it's the best we can do. Yeah. So yeah. So that was the video on rational functions, how to graph them, and all the points to it. I hope you guys learned from this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.